Good morning, class. I am your grade 5 science teacher in Talisay City Central Elementary School. And today, we will talk about how do we measure motion in terms of distance and time. In this chapter, we will determine if an object moves. We will define motion, distance, and speed. We will explain the importance of having a reference point when understanding motion. We will convert basic metric units, and we will also solve the speed of the moving object. Look at the screen. It seems that all the activities presented involve movement. We have to move in order to complete our daily task. Motion will always be part of our daily life. But how can we tell that someone is in motion? Motion is defined as a change of an object's position caused by force. When there is movement, there is motion. There will be no motion without a force or set of forces. Therefore, forces initiate and influence motion. Motion is also relative. Why? Because a person inside the car do not consider themselves moving because they are just sitting in the car. However, the person standing outside the car consider them moving because the car is changing its position from one point to another. By this definition, motion is a change in position with respect to a reference point. Reference point is a fixed place or an object used to determine the position of an object. If the reference point is the ground outside the car, then the person is moving. If the reference point is the floor of the car, then the person is not moving. Let's try and compare the two illustrations. Did the pencils move in the first picture? How about in the second picture? If the reference point is the pile of the books, the pencil changed its position, so the pencil is moving. However, if the reference point is the pen holder, the pencils did not change position, for they are still inside the pen holder. The examples about the person inside the car and the pencils show how relative motion is. It all depends on the reference point. Right now, I want you to write at least 5 of your daily activities and identify how motion takes place. When you are done, submit that work of yours to your teacher advisor. You have learned in the previous discussion how to tell if an object is moving or not. If there is movement, there is motion. And if there is motion or change of object's position, then definitely there is distance. Distance is an important factor in measuring motion. In this lesson, you will learn how to measure how far have the object moved. You can tell how fast or slow we are moving depending on the distance that we are taking. So what is distance? Distance is the measure of how far or near 2 points from one another. It can be measured using different ways such as time, landmark, or body parts. But it is inaccurate because there are factors that may affect the movement in between. For example, you cannot tell that the school that is 2 kilometers away is nearer just because you spent less time in going there while you spent an hour in going to church. Some factors like traffic, or a winding road may affect the travel time, thus making you think that the school is nearer than the church. There are appropriate tools and ways to measure distance so that you can tell whether the object is far or near. In science, distance should always be exact, measured accurately, and based on a standard unit of measurement. Scientifically, distance should be measured by using measuring tools such as ruler, meter stick, tape measure, measuring wheel, and ultrasonic distance measurer. The metric system is the world standard for measurement and used by scientists throughout the world. Having a standard unit of measure makes it easier for scientists and other people to understand each other's data. Using different units of measurement may lead to misunderstanding and confusion among people. In the metric system, the standard unit of measurement used for distance or length is meter. You just have to add the prefix kilo, hecto, and deca when you are referring to a far distance. Say for example, kilo plus meter, kilometer. Hecto plus meter, hectometer. Deca plus meter is decameter. Prefixes like deci, centi, and milli are used if the length is quite short. Say for example, centi plus meter, centimeter. Deci plus meter is decimeter. Milli plus meter is millimeter. Now, let us have this conversion of units. To convert a larger metric unit to a smaller metric unit, all we have to do is to follow these steps. Example, convert 1 kilometer to meter. So all we have to do is to put 1 on the given unit, which is kilometer. Then add zeros on the boxes going to your right until your goal is reached. Therefore, 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. To convert a smaller unit to a larger unit, follow these steps. So we are going to convert 1 decimeter to kilometer. Just like what we did, we are going to put 1 on the given unit, which is decimeter. Then we are going to add zeros on the boxes going to the left, and when your goal is reached, put a decimal point. So therefore, 1 decimeter is equal to 0.001 kilometers. By conversion, we can get the following values used in the metric system of measurement. 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Another 1 meter is equal to 1,000 millimeters. Let's have this example. A man that is traveling from town A that is 5 kilometers away from town B. How many meters was he able to travel? So, all we have to do is to put 5 on the given unit, which is kilometer, and then add zeros going to the right until our goal is reached. Therefore, 5 kilometers is equal to 5,000 meters. Let us have more examples. Number 1, 3 kilometers is equal to how many meters? So put 3 on the given unit, which is kilometers, and then add zeros going to your right until your goal is reached. Number 2, put 1 on the given unit, which is millimeter, and then add zeros on the boxes going to your left, and when your goal is reached, put a decimal point. Number 3, put 1 on the given unit, which is decimeter, then add zeros on the boxes going to your right until your goal is reached. Number 4, put 1 on the given unit, which is centimeter, and add zeros on the boxes going to your right until your goal is reached. And for number 5, put 1 on the given unit, which is kilometer, then add zeros on the boxes going to your right until your goal is reached. We will try to see our answers. For number 1, 3 kilometers is equal to 3,000 meters. Number 2, 1 millimeter is equal to 0.001 decameter. And number 3, 1 decimeter is equal to 100 millimeters. Number 4, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. And number 5, 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. Congratulations to those who are answering and getting the correct answers. Effect of speed and time on distance. The distance covered by a moving object is affected by its speed, or the measure of how fast it moves. The faster it moves, the shorter time it takes for it to cover a certain distance. Inversely, the slower it moves, the longer it takes for it to cover the same distance. Speed can be calculated by dividing the distance covered by an object in motion by the time spent to cover the distance. This can be expressed as speed is equal to distance covered over time. Speed is measured in meters per second or kilometers per hour. Example: a tricycle drove to a passenger's house that is 10 kilometers away from the station in 2 hours. What is the speed of the tricycle? So speed is equal to distance over time. So let us substitute. Speed is equal to 10 kilometers or km over 2 hours. So we will be going to divide 10, divide it by 2. So speed now is equal to 5 kilometers per hour. So this is the speed of the tricycle traveling from the station to the passenger's house. Let's try these examples. What is the speed of the motorcycle that traveled 10 meters in 5 seconds? Number 2, what is the speed of a boy that ran 15 kilometers in 5 hours? So number 1, let's have number 1. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. So let us substitute. Speed is equal to distance is equal to 10 meters and the time is 5 seconds. So let's have this one. Speed is equal to 2 meter per second because 10 divided by 5 is 2. Let's have number 2. Speed is equal to distance over time. So let us substitute. Speed is equal to 15 kilometers divided by 5 hours. So 15 divided by 5, speed is equal to 3 km per hour. So let us summarize. Motion is a change in position with respect to a reference point. A reference point is important in understanding motion because it serves as a basis for which the movement of an object can be related to. Through a reference point, one can tell whether an object has moved or not. Distance is the measure of how far or near 2 points from one another. A standard unit of measure makes it easier for scientists and other people to understand each other's data. Meter is the standard unit of measurement used for distance or length. Distance is measured by using tools such as meter stick, tape measure, measuring wheel, and ultrasonic distance measurer. I believe you learned something from the discussion today. With that, I can tell that you are ready to go over and answer all the activities in your self-learning kit. Thank you for watching. See you soon in our next video lesson.